It was probably around the time that I was getting taped to the front of a bus that I thought to myself, yeah, maybe sports really can bring us back together as a country. But let's start with how I wound up here in the first place. You already know that America is getting more polarized by the day. Democrats and Republicans, liberals and conservatives don't live together, work together, or hang out together the way we used to. We've become a nation of two rival teams, locked in a zero-sum deathmatch over politics and culture. But a new book called Fans Have More Friends argues that one pretty fun way to start healing our divisions is to be bigger sports fans. To learn more, I met up with one of the book's authors, Dave Sikorjak, a marketing strategist who studies the motivations of sports fans. The book is based on polls and focus groups with thousands of people over the past 3 years. But to test the thesis in the wild, we met up at a tailgate in Philadelphia ahead of a game between the Giants and the Eagles.
Go Birds!
Dave, tell me a little bit about how the idea for this book first came about.
Yeah, so I've been working in sports for quite some time now and do a lot of research with sports fans. And early on, we began seeing some interesting trends about sports fans. And what we found was the more engaged you were in sports, the more friends you would have. But it's not only there. It's the more you interact with those friends, the more you value those relationships. What sports is actually doing is creating belonging in people's lives.
So one of obviously the biggest rivalries that there is in America right now is political rivalries, right? Democrats and Republicans don't associate with each other. They increasingly view each other, with hostility.
So what's interesting is, as the more you are engaged in sports, as a Democrat, the more positive your feelings are towards Republicans. And the same holds for Republicans. The more engaged of a sports fan you are as a Republican, your feelings for Democrats warm a bit. If you socialize with people, interact with people different than you interact with strangers and have positive interactions, it's going to be good for you. And sports just is something that structurally enables that. Like there will be Republicans and Democrats at this game day, in this parking lot. They're interacting around a common bond. And that hatred dissipates.
Some people will say, well, sports brings people together, but so does gardening or theater or Dungeons and Dragons. Like, how
if
is
you do
sports
those
different
things,
from
do
those
them.
things?
So the scale of sports really just makes it more accessible, and it's neutral ground, and it's easier. More than half the population are sports fans, and if you're not a fan, you likely know sports fans. And you likely to understand the language. You could fake it through a Super Bowl party if you had to.
All right, let's go see if we can make some friends here at the Philadelphia Eagles tailgate. Dave Sikorjak, author of the book Fans Have More Friends. Thank you so much.
So I ventured out into the tailgate, armed with a beer and a whistle, to see if I could make some friends and maybe figure out how to save America. People out here had a lot to say about how fans can become friends.
You come to the stadium, you meet people who are sitting in front of you, sitting behind you, never seen them, never known them. You guys become family.
I work in an office and it's totally eagled up. I have so much more in common with clients that come in because they see it and we automatically talk sports. And I think they're like shocked that a woman knows what she's talking about. So there's that connection and there are people I've become friends with over the years through the work Eagles connection.
This guy here even made friends through being terrible at fantasy football.
It sounds like maybe you suck at fantasy football. I'm just going out on a limb here.
Matt here told me a story that I'm still trying to map out, but I think it was about how everybody knows everybody through football.
I knew Dom through high school, but I met Dean because of this tailgate. Dean ended up marrying Tara, who was my dad. So my dad went to college with Tom. Dean met Tara at the tailgate, and they actually proposed at this tailgate.
But of course, what I really wanted to know was this.
America's a pretty divided place these days. Do you guys feel like sports is something that transcends that?
Yes, you're here for the sports, you're here for the team, you're here for the environment, the drinks, the food. You're not here to talk politics. You kind of put everything aside.
Don't care what party you're from. If you're sports, you're an Eagles fan, Giants fan, don't matter. We're all the same, as long as you're not a Dallas fan. We might even give a Dallas fan a break once in a while. Nah, I'm a lion.
We're in a divided time right now when it comes to culture and politics, but hopefully you can kind of use sports to unite people and not divide people, so to speak.
I feel like it's a bridge for us, but also allows us to have a conversation. It's just like, hey, maybe you believe this, maybe we believe that, but at the same time, at least we're out here to support the Eagles.
But what if we weren't all out here to support the Eagles? I decided it was time to test the limits of Philadelphia's brotherly love.
Did I do?
Let's cover him up. Let's cover him up.
Where's the brotherly love? Where's the brotherly love?
You can go back to the other side of the river up north, okay?
But my luck really ran out when I met Pam and Alexis, two women from Philadelphia who'd bought an airport shuttle bus and turned it into a tailgate mobile.
So you'll be friends with anyone who's an Eagles fan?
Yeah. Anyone who's a football fan.
The president of the Eagles was here last week.
I didn't want to like, piss you guys off, but
we got to tape you to the front of the bus.
I got to get taped to the front of the bus?
Yes.
That's how it is.
That's how it is. You pulled the
can
wrong
have
hat.
Let's go to the front of the bus.
Let's do it.
This is amazing. I'm doing it for the culture.
In the end, after spending a day out here in Philly, I'll tell you what, I don't know if being sports fans alone is enough to save America from itself, but if everybody made one more connection through sports, it's probably not the worst place to start. For GZERO World, I'm Alex Kliment.